Live from the heart of downtown West Palm Beach from Stars International Studios, this is Fellas Fridays. I need you to follow and subscribe, like, share, and comment, and head on over to ScootyShades.com and use promo code ScootGang for 15% off all orders. This is Fellas Fridays, episode 41. She's not out of your league. Fellas, welcome back to Fellas Fridays. You already know what this is. No sugarcoating, no excuses, just truth and pressure. Today we're correcting one of the most common mental errors men make in dating. She's out of my league. Nope, she isn't out of your league. You're just out of position. Leagues aren't real. Positioning is. Positioning is how you carry yourself. Positioning is how your life is structured. Positioning is the standards you enforce. And the second you believe a woman is above you, you start behaving beneath her. Your tone softens. Your standards drop, and your boundaries disappear. And attraction disappears right along with it. Women don't respond to men who place them on a pedestal. They respond to men who are stable in their position. Most men don't lose women because of their looks. They lose women because they abandon their own standards. They tolerate disrespect. They chase uncertainty. They overinvest for approval. That behavior tells a woman exactly how you see yourself. And women mirror that. So listen carefully. If you walk into a situation already believing you're inferior, you will negotiate from weakness. Weak men chase. Structured men evaluate. That's the difference. Men operating under the standard do not ask, how do I get her? They ask, does she align with my life? That shift changes everything. Because now you're not performing for approval. You're observing behavior. You're watching consistency. You're measuring respect. You're deciding whether or not access continues. That's position. Here's another correction. When men think a woman is out of their league, they overextend. They overtext. They overcompliment. They overexplain. And they overtolerate. Overinvestment is desperation. And desperation destroys attraction. The standard removes that problem entirely. Because structure replaces emotion. When you operate with structure, you don't chase attention. You don't reward inconsistency. And you do not negotiate your standards. You observe. And then you decide. Here's the real truth. Women aren't attracted to perfection. They're attracted to stability. A man who's calm. A man who has direction. A man who does not place them on a pedestal. That presence creates attraction. Not begging. Not over-explaining. Not performing, but presence. And presence comes from discipline. Here's another thing most men misunderstand. The moment you think someone's above you, you surrender authority in the interaction. Now she leads. Now she controls the pace. Now she controls access. That dynamic destroys polarity. A man operating under the standard never surrenders authority over his own behavior. He remains calm. He remains consistent. He remains disciplined, whether or not she stays or she leaves. Because his identity isn't dependent on her approval. Fellas, Listen to me very carefully. This is the shift. Stop asking, how do I impress her? Start asking, does the behavior meet my standards? That's the moment the dynamic changes. Now you're not chasing, you're selecting. And men who select move differently. They speak clearly. They enforce their boundaries. They walk away when behavior becomes inconsistent. No drama, no anger, just discipline. It's pretty simple. That's positioning. And once you operate from that position, something interesting happens. The women you thought who were out of your league stop feeling intimidating because you're no longer negotiating your self-respect. You're simply observing alignment. So let's correct the belief. She isn't out of your league. You either have structure or you don't. You either enforce your standards or you negotiate them. And the moment you stop negotiating your standards, the entire dynamic changes. That's the correction. You have to make it. Think on it, apply it, and I will see you next Friday. But before we get up on out of here, I need you to head on over to ScootyShades.com and use promo code ScootGang for 15% off all orders. I will see you right here next Friday for episode 42 of Fellas Fridays. Scoot Gang, stand up. Scooty!